welcome. So, Kelly, you were looking to give an update on one of the senior living communities that you went to visit.
Yes, I got a return call, surprising to me, from one of the communities I visited, and they are hiring an additional sales executive, and the marketing director called me back and asked me if I would come back and represent the Senior Living CPO program to her and her new sales executive, which was completely caught me off guard. I'm not due, or I'm probably about due for another visit, an update with them, take some flyers and stuff. But she called me out of the blue, and it was like, excellent. I'll meet you. Give me a time. So I'm going to meet her in the next few days.
That's awesome. So your point is, Kelly, that when you're going into these senior living communities, which Deanna Allen is also on the call today, also goes in around your area, around Salt Lake City. They are really enjoying you going in. You said you were shocked that they called you back, but it's always a surprise when people are like, yes, please, you've got a program that's so useful for us, right? Is that what you're finding as you're going in and talking with those communities?
Well, correct. But it wasn't necessarily it was one of those I had to, it was on the schedule to go back and visit, take some flyers and reintroduce. But for her to remember and come back to me was like, it obviously made an impact, because it was a community I needed to get to. I literally had an elderly couple who were friends in my neighborhood. I knew them very well, and they went to this community. That's one of the reasons why I picked that zip code. And she remembered them, and the husband, sadly, passed away a year ago.
Oh.
But that was the reason I went to that, because I went out and visited them.
Yeah.
At least the wife, and the husband, he had Alzheimer's, dementia, whichever. I don't remember, but he wasn't in a stage to be visited. But it's like, I'm going to go visit this place because I know they picked it because it works for them.
Yeah. Yeah. So Deanna, this is Deanna Allen, who's our chief coach for senior living in Utah. Deanna, how are you getting on with Mary and Jerry? I've had people reach out this week to say, oh, we love the story about Mary and Jerry. So we're going to update you all. And I've got Susan and Dennis as well, who have now moved on to their new home. They're not in senior living. They've moved on to their new home through this program. But give me an update on Mary and Jerry. How's it going? So they're already moved into their senior living community, for those of you who haven't been following Mary and Jerry's story. And now we are doing the HGTV magic on the home, and then we'll be reselling it, and then Mary and Jerry will get another check. So how's it going, Deanna?
They will. Yeah, it's going really well. They are still moving in and getting settled in. So we were supposed to meet yesterday, but she asked for just a little bit more time. So we're rescheduled for next Tuesday to go visit them in their community and bring them a little move-in gift that Kelly and I put together. But yeah, things are going really well with them. She's super excited about how the first stage of the process went. They're looking forward to that next paycheck that will come when we sell the home. And Kelly's been in there working really hard to get that done.
How close are you to listing it now, Kelly? So you're doing the HGTV magic. What work have you completed now for Mary and Jerry? Are they able to get back and see the house as you're working on it? Are they going to see it at all, or is it too far away?
No, they're like 20 minutes away. And Mary came back 2 days ago. So I have it in a completely demoed situation, which doesn't mean that it's a disaster. No, I've got everything torn back and ready to put back together. In the next week or so, I'm literally picking up cabinets today.
Awesome.
And hopefully getting countertops templated in the next 2 days.
Awesome.
But in the next week, we will carpet the bedrooms, paint the bedrooms. I've had new doors made, so it will be just cute as a button when we're done.
That's fantastic. So you'll be getting it on Coming Soon here real soon, I'm guessing. And Coming Soon is an agent. So, you guys aren't agents who are listening, most of you at least. I know we do have a lot of agents listening around the country. What we do is almost everywhere in the country, we have a program called Coming Soon. That's when we put a house that we're listing on the market. You can't go into it yet because we're in the last couple of weeks of doing something to it. So are you getting it on that coming soon program, Kelly, I'm guessing?
It's getting close.
Good.
But yeah, I have some restrictions with the coming soon in my state.
Yeah.
So I have to have it ready, and then I have to put it on the MLS immediately just for reference. But we're within a few weeks of having it on the market.
Wonderful. And I'll give you an update on Susan and Dennis, who are now happily ensconced in their house in Ocala. We have finished the painting on their house at Tipperary. I will be getting it on coming soon because we've only got the painting left to do. And it's a wonderful house for this area because it has a pool. And for those of you in warm areas, most houses have a pool. No, we're in Asheville, North Carolina, and this is one that Joey, our CEO, managed to get through in the hurricane. There was no water in the house, and he still managed to get it through so that the house closed stage 1, and that Susan and Dennis could get off in their car with all their kitty cats and get down to Ocala, and now they're in their brand new home down there. I'm so happy for them. Meanwhile, we're working as busily as we can to, we did the inspection, we did the appraisal. Everything's been fixed on the inspection report, and, we have the appraisal in place, and all we need to do now is paint it and do the modifications. So, on inspections, for those of you selling a house or buying a house, they're not going to put the walls are cream or, the walls aren't nice and neutral. So therefore, that doesn't come up on the inspection. It's just items that are health and safety or need repairing. So the cosmetic things that can make your house worth so much more don't come up on that report, right? So what we're doing in that one is we're refinishing the countertops, we're refinishing the counters, we're putting new hardware on the doors, we're having everything painted. There was a little bit of wallpaper here and there. We're taking down the wallpaper, we're painting the fireplace white. It's going to look so clean and fresh and nice when it's done. And like I say, it has a pool. We probably have 2% of our houses, if that here, have a pool. It's in a great area in we call it Hot West Asheville. So, can't wait to get that one on, and that will be going on in the next week here. So expect to see some listing paperwork coming across, Joey. I know you'll take care of that for us very fast. So, that's our updates for this week. And thank you for listening to our next little episode there, guys, with me. So we want to have an update on what's happened with real estate after the hurricane. So obviously we had Aline in Western North Carolina. A lot of the market just stopped for a minute. Most of it is back on now. I'm having people call me all the time that want to come up to see the rest of the leaves or anything else. Is Asheville, North Carolina still devastated, or can we come? Most hotels are open. Most restaurants are open. We are still eating off paper plates. Asheville itself, the city, is still under a boil water advisory, which sounds scary to most people, except for us, we didn't have any phones, we didn't have any electric, we didn't have any water, we didn't have anything. So suddenly it's absolutely wonderful. And we also have Christine and Margaret on the phone, who are in the Bradenton area in Florida. Would one of you like to jump in and say what's happening there? Chris, you want to go first, as you're in Bradenton, I believe, and you took a direct hit there?
Yes. Bradenton, our beaches, Bradenton Beach, Anna Maria Island, they're still working on getting everything, all the sand, mainly out of the streets and debris picked up. But it's coming back. It's been, I think, probably about 4 weeks now, actually. And we're just, still trying to get roofs put on, and just a lot of blue tarps still on a lot of houses on their roofs. So
I bet I remember that from living down in Miami after a hurricane. And I went through 3 or 4 down there when I lived there. And after the hurricane, there would be blue tarps everywhere because the roofs would come off.
Right.
There's hardly any blue tarps, but, we didn't have the kind of, our damage was caused by flooding. We don't take those direct hits from hurricanes. And I guess that's why the roofs come off, because of all the wind. I'm not really talking like a weather forecaster here. I'm not sounding very knowledgeable about hurricanes. So we had, for those of you trying to keep track of what's going on with hurricanes, we had Aline come through, which caused so much damage. And then we had Milton only a week or 2 later.
Which that really came into Siesta Key, Sarasota, more so than the Bradenton area, which Sarasota and Bradenton are right next to each other. But Siesta Key beaches, they got the brunt of it, I think, worse than our beach did in Bradenton, which I work both areas. So it's going to take them in Siesta a little bit longer to clear up than it will the Bradenton beach area.
So what are you seeing as you drive around? For people who love that area, and of course, we all have so many people that love going to the west coast of Florida. For those of you in California who don't tend to go to Florida to vacation because it's so far, that's the west coast of Florida, by the way. What are you seeing when you're driving around, Margaret or Chris? Anybody jump in that's on the west coast of Florida? When you're driving around, are you seeing, obviously you're seeing a lot of blue tarps. Are the hotels open? Is tourism coming back? Are the restaurants open? Are you seeing trees piled up by the side of the road? What are you seeing?
Well, Margaret's down a little further south than I am. She's in the Naples area, so we're about 2 hours apart. But here in the Sarasota, Bradenton area, a lot of restaurants are back open on Longboat Key, which is right in between Bradenton and Sarasota. A lot of the restaurants down in Siesta Key are about half of them have been able to open back up that are on the beach end. But for the most part, the rest of Sarasota and the rest of Bradenton, it's just a matter of them picking up the debris. But all restaurants, stores, and everything are back open and up and running like nothing ever happened.
Well, of course, you're in Florida where, I used to live down there, so I've got some experience of this myself. It's just run so well in such a way because you're used to dealing with hurricanes. And you've also got a governor down there who's all over it, right? Anytime anything happens. What about in Naples? Anything go on in Naples, Margaret, that you saw?
Yes, it was really incredible. The Helene actually had a storm surge of about 4 feet. And then when Milton came, it was a foot higher. So it was 5 feet.
Wow.
And that was over in the coastal areas. And I mean, it was unfortunate, but it was the homes that were along there that really got hit. But the main area where it was severe was in Lee County. And in Lee County and Charlotte County, you have some of those islands that are over there that really were affected by the damage of it with the surge. I mean, there's some restaurants that aren't even reopening. And another aspect of it that was horrendous were the tornadoes. We had a lot of tornadoes here that really affected Naples, Fort Myers. I mean, just from the aftermath of it all.
And that's unusual, right? To get the tornadoes in your area.
It is.
Yeah, we normally see those in the Midwest and over the flat areas for obvious reasons for anybody that knows anything about weather, which obviously I don't know too much about it. But yeah, I do know that it's kind of unusual to see the hurricanes and tornadoes in Florida, not the hurricanes, which again, when you're dealing with something you're unused to, which is what happened with Helene here. And really, it was those two hurricanes coming back to back that really caused the problem there. So thank you so much for that update. And we're all giving hugs and prayers to everybody in the areas where that kind of devastation has gone on. We're still picking up in the Asheville area, but like I say, a lot of it is open. We've got a lot of people visiting and, there's a lot of businesses that are being hurt very much and they're all looking forward to the tourism now.